Respect is not given. It's calculated. Every room you enter is a battlefield of perception, and you are being measured before you even speak. In a world addicted to noise, weakness doesn't need to shout. It just shows. In your posture, in your hesitation, in the tone of your voice when you seek validation instead of standing in conviction. Most men today bleed self-doubt. They smile too much, explain too much, seek too much. They try to earn respect through friendliness, not realizing that respect is born from restraint. People don't admire what they fully understand. They respect what they can't easily read. The Stoics knew this long before modern psychology caught up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, the man who cannot command himself will never command others. Respect begins with self-governance. It's not about dominance, it's about discipline. Not loudness, but presence. So this isn't a video about tricks or social tactics. This is about becoming the kind of man whose silence weighs more than another man's words. Because in a chaotic world, calmness is rare, and rarity commands value. If you can master that, you'll never need to demand respect again. It will follow you like a shadow. Welcome to Timeless Stoic Mind, where we rebuild power from the inside out. 5 ways to command instant respect, not through ego, but through mastery. 1. Control your face. Control the room. A man's face is his first battlefield. Most lose it before the war even begins. They let every flicker of irritation, fear, or need bleed through their expression, broadcasting weakness to everyone watching. People don't just hear your words, they read your nervous system. Imagine this, a negotiation. One man stays still, eyes calm, breathing slow. The other fidgets, forces a smile, blinks too often. Before a single word of strategy is spoken, the silent one has already won. Why? Because composure is power. It signals to the primitive mind, I am not afraid. The Stoics called this apatheia, not emotional deadness, but emotional discipline. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to appear unmoved so his mind could stay immovable. To control your face is to separate the impulse from the expression, the space between stimulus and response. That's where dominance lives. Psychology agrees. Micro-expressions betray the truth faster than speech. A clenched jaw exposes resentment. A nervous grin signals submission. But a still face, relaxed, grounded, eyes steady, creates psychological gravity. People project strength onto the one who reveals nothing. So practice this. When insulted, don't flinch. When tested, don't react. When praised, don't melt. Your stillness makes others uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, they start to respect you. Remember, the world mirrors your state. If your face shows chaos, chaos will return it. But if your face is a wall of calm, you command the room before a single word leaves your mouth. 2. Speak less, mean more. Every word you speak either adds to your power or drains it. Most men talk because silence terrifies them. They fill space with noise, nervous explanations, half-formed opinions, endless justifications. But the truth is simple. The more you speak, the cheaper your words become. Picture this. A room full of men arguing, voices overlapping, each trying to prove a point. And then, one man, silent, still, listening. When he finally speaks, everyone stops. Not because he's louder, but because he's selective. He has trained his tongue like a weapon, drawn only when necessary, precise when it strikes. Epictetus warned, let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary, and in few words. The Stoics understood that speech reveals the state of the mind. A disciplined man speaks only when his words serve purpose, not emotion. Psychology calls this linguistic scarcity. Humans assign value to what's rare. The quiet one's opinion carries weight because it's earned through restraint. Every sentence becomes a deliberate act, not a reflex. Here's the test. The next time someone challenges you, don't rush to fill the silence. Let the pause hang heavy. Let them squirm in their own discomfort. Silence disarms egos faster than argument ever will. Your voice should feel like a verdict, not a reaction. Say less, mean more. Because respect isn't given to the loudest man in the room. It's given to the one whose words cannot be ignored. 3. Set boundaries. Like a wall of stone. Weak men fear saying no. They confuse kindness with submission, thinking tolerance earns respect. But in the real world, mercy without structure invites exploitation. People test limits not because they hate you, but because human nature always pushes against what yields. Imagine a man who says yes to everything. He's always available, always accommodating, always explaining. And yet he wonders why others walk over him. It's not cruelty, it's psychology. We respect what resists us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A good man is not endlessly agreeable. He is anchored, his time, his energy, his peace, guarded by walls of discipline. Because without boundaries, you are not virtuous. You're vulnerable. The Stoics saw boundaries not as barriers, but as expressions of reason. The ability to govern one's own territory. To say, this is what I stand for. This is what I allow. This is where it ends. A man without that clarity becomes an instrument for others' agendas. So test this. When someone demands your time, pause. Ask yourself, does this serve my higher self or my comfort? If it's comfort, decline it. If it's manipulation, end it. If it's disrespect, cut it off completely, and do it without apology. A stone wall doesn't explain why it stands. It simply exists. Immovable, undeniable. Be that wall. Because respect is not about being liked, it's about being uncompromising in who you are. 4. Never chase validation. The moment you seek approval, you give away your power. Validation is the currency of the weak, traded by those who've forgotten their own worth. And every time you ask, was that good enough? You silently confess, I don't believe it was. Most men live in invisible chains, desperate to be seen, to be liked, to be accepted. They tailor their opinions, soften their words, shapeshift their identity for whoever's watching. But a man who constantly adjusts himself for others will never stand tall on his own foundation. He becomes an echo, not a voice. Seneca warned, "He who seeks approval is a slave to those who withhold it." That's not philosophy, that's warfare. Because the man who needs validation can be controlled. All it takes is attention, or the threat of its withdrawal. Psychology calls it intermittent reinforcement. The same trick used to train dogs, gamblers, and the addicted. Give praise sometimes, withhold it other times, and watch the subject chase harder. Modern society runs on this manipulation. Likes, views, applause. It rewards your dependence. It fears your independence. So what's the Stoic counterattack? Indifference. Do your work with excellence, then detach from outcome. Perform without begging for witness. Approval will come and go. Purpose endures. When you stop chasing validation, something shifts. You become unpredictable, unmoved, free. And that freedom commands respect, because nothing is more intimidating than a man who does not need the crowd to confirm his value. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be solid. 5. Walk away without explaining. The most powerful move you can make is to leave and say nothing. Explanations are for those still seeking permission, but a man who knows his value does not negotiate his exit. He withdraws, calmly, silently, without ceremony. Imagine this. A confrontation begins. Voices rise, emotions flare, and everyone's fighting to have the last word. But you don't. You stand, look them in the eye, and walk away. No argument, no justification, just stillness and departure. That moment echoes louder than any shouted defense, because silence leaves a void, and the human mind hates voids. They'll fill it with stories, guilt, and self-reflection. And in that silence, they realize, you were the one with control all along. Marcus Aurelius lived this principle daily. He faced betrayal, manipulation, and insult, yet he never chased explanations. He understood that dignity doesn't beg to be understood. It simply is. Modern psychology confirms it. When you over-explain, you reveal insecurity. You seek to control how others see you instead of being grounded in who you are. Every word of defense is an admission of doubt, so train yourself to leave quietly, from arguments, from disrespect, from people who drain your strength, not out of anger, but clarity. You owe no one your peace. Remember, walking away isn't weakness, it's the ultimate act of self-command, because the man who doesn't need to explain has already won. Every man wants respect, but few are willing to earn it the hard way, through restraint, composure, and unshakable self-command. You've been taught that respect comes from achievements, status, or money, but the truth is darker. Respect begins the moment you no longer need it. Look around. Most men are prisoners of perception, desperate to prove themselves to people who aren't even watching. They chase applause, validation, revenge, approval, but every chase exposes dependency, and dependency kills power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." And to live as a Stoic means to stand untouchable in a noisy world, to own your thoughts, your emotions, your face, your time. That is the real citadel. Not the world outside, but the fortress you build inside yourself. So here's your challenge. Starting now, stop performing. Speak with intention. Guard your peace like it's your kingdom. Say no without explaining. Be the calm in every storm. The presence that commands the room without raising its voice. You don't need to dominate others. You need to dominate yourself. Because when you master your own impulses, the world recognizes it instinctively and bows to it unconsciously. Respect is not something you demand. It's something you radiate. If this message hit you, share it with someone who has forgotten what quiet strength looks like. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind and leave a comment. What part of yourself will you reclaim today? Because the world doesn't need more loud men. It needs more still ones. Unmoved, unbreakable, respected, because they no longer need to be.